Friday, Monday. Karibuni sana. And of course, we get to do this every Monday and Friday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. regarding the time. 7 minutes past the top of the hour. My name is Joby, the captain of the day. Hope you guys are doing amazing. Ready for today's conversation. Hope your week has been fantastic. Travel live with us on the radio, on the network, and on the radio station. Karibuni sana. We got the lovely ladies. Before we get back to the music, looking sexy.
Thank you.
I'm looking
you
good too.
as well, Joby.
Yeah.
You look nice.
Thank you. You too, ma'am. Nakapoa.
Asante
How's your
sana.
week been?
My week has been amazing. I can't complain. Yeah.
We started on a higher note,
I'm
man.
just a happy girl.
Come on. I mean, if you ain't happy, what are you?
I don't know, sad and miserable.
Why would you be sad?
Depressed.
Don't be sad. Don't be sad, please. This life is already depressing.
I
You know, I read a
know.
quote somewhere. Your teacher saying life is already depressing. Please don't be depressed. Try as much as you can every day. Be happy. There's a lot of chaos happening every single day. Try be in the present moment. Iwaton, how's your week been?
Very peaceful, very productive, I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You feel fulfilled.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
I'll use your words. I'm
Yeah.
using your words. You feel fulfilled.
Very, very fulfilled.
Okay.
I love where I am, literally.
Okay.
I can say I love at the space that I am.
Nice.
Like socially, mentally, career-wise. I love where I am.
Nice, love to
Yeah.
see it. But anyway, karibuni sana to also like everyone, of course,
How
who
are
is
you?
with us. Personally, I'm good. I can't complain, man. My week has been great. Can't complain. Despite, of course, it starting with the sickness that was on Monday.
I know.
I'm grateful that I'm feeling kind of different. The energy is different. You know, I'm just feeling healthy. I feel like I'm glowing.
Yeah.
You know, just disturbing people's peace on the road. I love
Oh,
it.
but
You know,
enough,
disturbing
Right.
people's confidence because I
Right.
have mine,
Yeah.
so they can't wear theirs.
Literally.
You know,
Yeah.
it's good, man. But yeah, I've been good. I'm literally ready for the weekend. I feel like I'm just ready for the weekend.
Yeah.
You know.
Period.
Yeah. But this is Tali 254. Of course, getting back to the music, we started with an amazing jam. That is inaitwaje Nasty.
Nasty.
Yeah, featuring him. That actually featuring Reckless
Featuring
and Natalie 254. She's an amazing artist, an amazing right now a mother, an amazing friend, very supportive friend. And shout out to Taurus Music Manze. You guys do artists right. That is all I can say for now.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Drew by all the You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to.
Hope you guys are doing amazing. Entertainment and culture is what we're bringing to you this amazing evening from our end. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. And of course, my quote of the day before we get started with the conversation, mine says it is important to realize that you're living inside one of your answered prayers while you wait for the next one. There's always a place of gratitude. Literally, again, speaking of gratitude, again and again. And yeah, I'd say personally, I'm living in one of my answered prayers every single day. I'm grateful for my life, for my job, for my lifestyle, literally everything, and what is yet to come. I woke up today when I was going to get breakfast, and then just looking at my environment, I'm like, wow, it's so peaceful, so quiet, just hearing the birds. I'm like, man, I can't wait to be now in my own compound, having trees just surrounding me. So yeah, literally speaking life in my life. Yeah,
as it definitely should be.
My quote is not a quote. I'm trying to look for a quote I can, but I have a screenshot here. It says, set goals so high that they demand an entire different version of you. Set your goals so high that they will demand an entire different version of you. Have a beautiful weekend.
I have 3. Read until it clicks, okay? When you trust the unseen, you command the unseen. Certainty isn't certainty, isn't a feeling, it's power. And also sometimes you have to say, I'm too pretty and well educated for this shit, and move on. And the last one is, I'm worth the pressure, so apply it. That's what's up.
Period. Thank you so much for sharing the quotes, and also to everyone who's with us on the network, on the radio. Feel free to also share your quotes. You can pin them maybe on the show page in case this is your first time. Karibu, subscribe, and of course check out our application. Let's Watson tell you where you can find our application.
Definitely. In regards to our supplements,
yes, our app, where you can find it. Also the benefits that comes with the app, because there's so many.
That is so true. You can download our app on the Google Play Store. If you're using the Android device, get amazing healthy supplements. Apparel clothing, we have 4 different categories of the supplements: the beverages, the vitamins, the naturals, and the beauties for the ladies. Aloe Cucumber soap. Also have the sheer butter, super good for you. And also, if you're using the iPhone, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements and apparel clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. T-shirts, beanie hats, sandal slides, the Black Hot Fire Radio flag standing on Ubuntu, representing the awakening. The mags, please, you should definitely order one for yourself, and order some supplements for yourself.
Period.
Yes,
all organic,
super
no
natural
fake supplements.
Trust
We're not
nature.
gonna do you the Nigerian way. No, we got you covered. Bakaribuni sana. Today shall be going, of course, throughout the weekly recap of everything that's been going on, and of course a lot has been happening, especially regarding politics. When we talk about also TikTok scammers, we talk about our economy, when we talk about Ruto reshuffling some cabinet secretary. I think also you guys have seen that. There's a lot actually happening, but I want us to start with something that I was talking about actually yesterday in the evening, and this is regarding what happened towards that was actually last weekend, because we're heading towards the weekend, and during the weekend there's a whole lot of shenanigans always happening. We're on 28th, so we are seeing that on 31st is gonna be a holiday, a national holiday in Kenya. That is according to Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen, who has declared Monday, March 31st a public holiday. That is to mark Eid. You know, the Muslims have been, of course, fasting for the past 1 month, and it's a norm in Kenya. But I think we've been speaking about also holidays and how unnecessary they are, because me as a Christian, how does it involve me? Why should I be affected to close my work? Like, you know, I mean, unless you are an entrepreneur, you know, and unless you are an entrepreneur, you can literally choose not to stay at home but go to work. But sasa hizi offices zingine mbona tufunge kazi kwa sababu Waislamu wanasherekea? You know, it should be just a normal day. Let them continue doing their thing as we do our thing, because I feel like we really have unnecessary holidays. We've discussed this a couple of times. It's so many. You really sit down, you see that because today someone has been appointed, tomorrow is a public holiday. Because someone has died, tomorrow is a public holiday. Like, they're so unnecessary. And there's a time, let me just check, I think we've had even rankings. Yeah, rankings of which country, especially in East Africa, has the most holidays, and Tanzania happens to be one among them. So I want to see, because I think since Ruto came into presidency, a lot of them have been added. So let me see, actually, in East Africa, how many holidays? Which country has them? Which country? Yeah, which country in East Africa? Let me see. So, okay, in Africa, this is in Africa. According to Africa, Madagascar and Uganda have the highest number of spent observing public holidays. So last time I checked, actually it was Tanzania. So it's shocking to see that Uganda now is the one among the leading.
Sorry, Uganda, huh?
Yeah, Uganda. Let me see. Let's see, East Africa, nothing to do with East Africa. No. Nah, so Uganda, and then they're saying Eritrea, Mauritania, Sao Tome, and Sao Tome Principe, and we have Sudan have the largest, the least number, of days. That is 8 observed public holidays. So Kenya, I believe, is also one among the top. Just being honest, you know. Let me see. Man, imagine even like planting trees, and this should be actually something. No, we shouldn't be involved. It shouldn't be a public holiday, because I was saying, I remember a time, me personally, I've participated in planting trees in school. I remember it used to be part of our academics, where we had a specific day for students, where you come plant trees, participate in environmental, you know,
activities.
Yeah, exactly. So it's students who actually were doing this, not like today it's a public holiday. Now all parents, whoever wants, go take plants from the chief, from your chief, you go, you know, it's just it's unnecessary. And then if you look at all this that we've been told to do, is not our benefit, because this all to do with carbon emission bullshit. Because we know that the Arabs have bought so much land, and we know their intentions literally. So it's not something that actually that we should be involved, according to me. But I want to read a few comments before you guys give your own thoughts regarding the holidays. I see one of the persons says last week rally, alafu this weekend inaenda hadi Monday. Mungu abariki wengine. I know, because like there's so many, like we have so many unnecessary just going on things, and our economy is not really thriving. You know, as Louis Ngugi was explaining something about our economy, like Kenya is surviving through the diaspora people. Like we're benefiting through the diaspora people. Most of the money, the revenue is collected like what diaspora and Kenya is not like performing in any,
no cash flow.
Exactly. If you look at our tea, our coffee, everything in terms of our productivity, it's not benefiting us. Zero profit, as a matter of fact. So if literally the diaspora people say today we're not gonna send money, most of us tutaumia. Like we're gonna suffer. Like, and that is just according to the data and the statistics. But also someone says it's a good declaration. Of course, these are people who do not understand how effective this is, according to me. The people, of course, who need the rest. The people who have been working, you know, back to back. The people who don't get offs, actually even weekends. The people who are working throughout the weekend. So something like this for them, it's actually good. They are like, I get to rest on a Monday. We're going to work for 4 days next week. You know, they'll be happy. But there's someone who, for them this is an effect. You know, there's someone who's like, nah, I have things to do. I don't care whether I'm working Monday to Monday. You know, I have things to do. I have maybe medical bills to pay. And you were talking about SHA, where the government is requiring us to pay everyone to pay. I mean, kama sina doni do, if I don't have money, if I don't have a job, I won't pay. It's not, so it's not mandatory for me if I don't have a job. You know, if I'm not employed, if I won't pay. I'm paying with my salary, mama. But
the number of people.
You know, it's crazy. So that is what basically is happening, according to Murkomen. What are your thoughts regarding this?
Personally, I feel like this is just distraction. Like people, I feel like the people, you know, the government is studying people. They know, people what wanapenda sherehe. What wanapenda kuchill. Acha tuwape holiday wasau. Unajua nadhani ukiambia mtu nampea holiday, this person is going to be happy. You know, but deep down it's going to affect a lot of people. Think about it. Like for example now, you know, maybe somebody who has their private business, or let me say like a business person in town. Every time there's a holiday, business is down. literally, because if you're not going to town, so everybody who sells in town, you're the party market.
Yeah.
So it's just a waste of day, a waste of money. You're talking each and every day saying, oh, people are not paying taxes. How are people gonna pay taxes if you give holidays 10 days a week? Like how are people gonna pay taxes if they can't even raise that money? Because every month you have to give people 2 holidays or a holiday. That doesn't make sense. And yet the same people you want to collect money from.
True.
You know, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Business people are going to be surviving. Watu wenye wanafanyia gava, they're lucky because salary yao ikati.
Yeah.
They get still their money. But imagine those people who are entrepreneurs, those people who are doing their businesses, all the cybers in town are not going to be working. And if they work, the customers interaction is gonna reduce. All the mamambogas, everybody watu wasmoki wataiguzia nani, hakuna mwenye kutao.
Yeah.
Everything is empty. Unaona, so at the end of the day it's just like another weekend.
It's crazy.
And it affects a lot of people. And it's like when people stop celebrating this bullshit, because just like you said, how am I involved with Islamic shit?
Exactly.
Why am I
we celebrating religion, number
why
one?
am I even being given a holiday? You know, and
We
then
only have Sundays.
and then you know they are celebrating religion, or they've given the Muslim, so the Muslim is gonna actually have the back of the government, because gavasi inatusupport ilitupea hata holiday juzi sisi Waislamu lazima tu appreciate serikali, unajua stuff like that, and they think people are going to have their back. Me, I have friends who are Muslim, and trust me, they hate the government as if hata ukiwapea nini, hata wapea holiday 3 jaribu kuwa support, wapea pesa za ufala. Just the other day Joe was holding something for Ramadan, and we saw the same guy, is it Murkomen or Sudi, brought, was it 100 million or how many million in cash? In cash.
Sudi.
It was Sudi?
Yeah.
In cash, just to celebrate Ramadan.
Wow.
Whatever you do, like there's a lot of questions when it comes to
celebrate Ramadan.
Yeah.
That I'm not sure of the information.
Yeah, they were, I think we reported it. When you remember, Joho was hosting. They were giving money at the mosque. And exactly. And he came with almost 5, if not 3 million, and gave out in cash.
That's crazy.
At the mosque. Ramadani.
What? That money, especially those Muslims themselves, and I'm not talking smack about the Muslim brothers and sisters, because I got friends, man. But if you look at most of the Muslims, literally, I don't want to say majority, but what I've observed, yes, these people have money, but they don't live good lifestyles. I don't understand why. Personally, I've seen people who have money, but wanaishi korogosho. Na wako na dough. Shimani, like they wako na dough. Like they really have money, but they're living in slums. I'm talking about slums, but I'm saying the biggest houses of slums.
Right.
So like, why are you living here? Na mko na hii dough yote. Mtu afukuzwangu shule, akona kila kitu, like everything. These people have golds. They are wearing, because most Muslims, if you see them, it's literally in gold. It's not just it's gold.
Real gold.
So like, why? So why would you be giving out money to celebrate while majority of these Muslim brothers actually also they are not employed? Because we know most are running from Somalia because of war. Ethiopia, Eritrea, different countries. They come here, survive and then they have that unity. That's the good thing. They help each other to each other. That's the one thing we've seen with them. But when it comes to what about tunachonga burale, sisi burale. What about us? We also need that money. That is our taxes you're collecting, actually going to celebrate bullshit. You've gotten my taxes. You as a governor, as a whatever.
I don't know. I think it's kama ni culture Muslims, because I feel like they don't like lavish. Okay, there are some that are actually
because you find they're living in good houses, but it's not.
They're living. No, they always live together. Joby. Wanaishi familia yote. Like unapata hii nyumba kwa watu 12.
Na utapata nyumba iko empty shwani.
I've never gotten
mattresses. Walai.
No, I've never gotten into, but najua kwa wanaishi hadi kuna time fulani this landlord nilikuwa nampita Emba, so there's a new building. So mtu Muislamu amekuja kutafuta nyumba. Akamwambia kuna na ilikuwa empty. So nikamwambia mbona mnanyima nyumba? Eti hawa watakuja waishi hapa watu 15. Wakishakuja tu 15 wataharibu nyumba.
Ujuangi ni nani?
Wataharibu nyumba. Alafu by the time wanatoka unaangalia the dents za nyumba yenyewe ni more bata kushinda deposit yenye wameacha. So you find of them unadhani, I don't know if it's a saving culture, because these people have money, Joby. These people have businesses. These people own land.
Yeah.
Like when you talk about businesses, Gurales nani Warrior ndio watu wanajua kufanya biashara, alafu wanafuatwa na Kikuyu in the whole country, and that everybody knows. They are very self-employed. Hata wasumbukani hata eti wanamaliza form 4. Most of them don't want even to go to campus. They want to start their businesses. You see, so I don't know which culture is it that wonangi hiyo la siji kama ni part of their I don't know. I really don't know, because nimeona wengine wako na do na wanaishi vizuri, but most of them they love like na bado wako na do.
Okay.
I don't know if it is part of their I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
Regarding the holiday, honestly, on my perspective, I don't see there's a problem with it.
Okay.
Because Christians have holidays, literally.
Okay. Well, okay.
So I feel like if they were not given that holiday, it will be kind of chaotic on them, because they always have that holiday.
Why chaotic?
No, I'm saying maybe they would cause some tension about it, because they've always had the holiday. It's always been there.
Yeah. But okay, let me look at the introduction.
Like, it's always been there.
Just let me see the introduction of
Is it Idil Filter?
It was Idi Ulfit.
Yeah. It's the same way when there's a holiday, Christian holiday, whatever holiday, and it falls on a weekend, it's going to be extended to a Monday or a Tuesday. So honestly, I don't see anything wrong with it. Because if you're not a Muslim, you're still open your business, because all of them are not going to open their business that day, because they're celebrating the fasting and the prayer. So if you're not a Muslim, you're literally going to open your business. It's a basic normal day for you. Like nothing really
So
changes.
as a matter of fact, listen, so the holiday, yes, has been there, but there's no specification, because it's always announced. So number one, it's not part of our culture.
Okay.
That is what I'm trying to say. If you talk about Muslims, the Christianity, we have the Pasaka, which is actually celebrated globally.
April,
Globally. Yeah, for the EDP and the celebration of Muslims globally, Skatai, but it's not supposed to be affecting me. We get it.
But how is it
and if you look at
you?
my business, if you are actually employed, salary yako kama unafaa kulipwa fully, probably some companies are gonna deduct your salary probably for you not to work in that one day, hata kama ilikuwa public holiday. Being honest, there are some companies that are so brutal, just being honest. Maybe kuna mtu there's different ways, kuna
the one let me explain.
Kuna suppliers wa products, kuna mtu maybe akona biashara yake anafaa aende kwa warehouse.
But what about the Christian holidays
amefunga.
on their end?
Mimi labda nafaa niende maziwa kwa kampuni fulani. Hiyo kampuni leo imefungwa na mimi niko na duka.
What about the Christian holidays on the
it is written down on the calendar. This one is not. It is always just like announced, like, hey, 31st of March tumeamua tu celebrate.
But I believe there's always that holiday.
For me, I'm just saying they can do their own thing without us being involved.
Also the Christian it affects the Muslims.
I feel like
they do their own shit without us being involved, as a matter of fact. For us, wanaendelea na biashara zao.
With the same way we should continue our businesses.
I feel like venye nakuja ku affect like the common mwananchi ni, for example, si wamesema ni holiday. So meaning everybody mwenye anafanyia gava on Monday hakuna mwenye anaenda kazi.
Exactly.
Unaelewa? So when you go to town, kama unataka kufungua biashara yako, utafungua whether you are Christian or not. Unajua? Yes, she's right, utafungua biashara. But hakuna watu tao.
Isn't that the same way as Easter?
I'm trying to explain, hakuna watu tao, si ndio? So there are no people in town, si ndio? When ni mtu wa smoky, haya wewe unauzanga weave, unafanya hivyo. Watu wakiwa holiday, watu wako home most of the time. So people utafanya nini? So that's how the economy, because listen, when kanja atakuja wanaokota pesa. So that is taxes. So at the end of the day unapata pesa inafaa kutengeneza hiyo siku imereduce. So the economy is struggling, but we have more holidays.
True.
What I'm trying to say, hakuna ubaya wakicelebrate kivyao.
Yeah,
Don't
exactly.
give. I feel like the
As
government
Christians,
exactly.
As
Right.
Christians also.
Yes, exactly.
Also,
Kama ni ya
then it should
Christians,
be Christians and Muslims then.
exactly.
Because
So ikiwa
the
ya
same thing is
Christians,
affecting the Muslims as the same thing.
It
The
doesn't.
Christians are celebrating their
It doesn't.
thing.
Actually,
How's
Suka
that?
Pasaka, let me tell you,
Tell me
during the
about
Pasaka,
it.
it's on April, right?
Yeah.
Inakwanga April sijui
It's
toka
almost
masijui.
here,
It's
actually.
almost here.
Yeah.
You go to Isili, Waislamu wanaendelesha biashara zao kama kawaida. Like kama normal. Like
Okay.
am I lying? If you go to Isili, actually like us we're celebrating,
Yeah.
you'll find businesses operating as normal.
Right.
These Muslims are gonna shut their businesses because it's their day. Us we're gonna be affected too. We're being told it's a public holiday, so we're not supposed to report to work. What she's trying to explain, actually it makes a whole bigger sense to understand everything.
economy.
Nona, kuna huyu mtu wa mama mboga ama mtu wa ngwashe ama grapes hapo tao. Mmezoea kila mtu akipita 50 bob. 50 bob. Like at least you know if you go with your stock, uko sure nitatoka hapa hata na punch. Umeenda umesimama hapo nani anatembea? Cause we've been into town during akunanga watu. And most of the people are not there even to spend money like
and
it's
utapata
only
more
day.
shops zimefungwa. But I feel like it's
So
not
the
our
narrative
problem.
is
It's
if
not our
what do you call it? If the Christians are having a holiday, the narrative is what you're trying to say is that it does not affect the Muslims.
No, it does actually affect everybody.
Because I'm trying to understand that perspective.
I feel like the government inafaa ikuwe inapea Muslims, ipe Muslims, isikuwe inapea kila mtu.
Exactly.
That's what I'm trying. If it is the Christian holiday,
Yeah.
let the Christians celebrate their holiday na
Exactly.
biashara ziendelee. Ukisema ni holiday ya kila mtu, vitu zinakuwa
That's a problem.
exactly. So kama ni Christians, because now this holidays haya leo tumefanya Waislamu, si ndio? Economy ita reduce. Juu kila mtu aendi kazi.
Yeah.
Town hakuna biashara. Economy may reduce. Haya, next week kuna Christians. Exactly. Vitu zita reduce. So if you're trying to actually do this, if it is a must, you have to give people holidays. Because kesho itakuwa haya Christians wameisha. The next 2 weeks ni Labor Day.
Yeah,
Tena
yeah.
holiday. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
Every time there is a holiday,
Which
there is
people are not going to work.
there is always effects in the economy. Because right now the money is not, people will close shops. So money
Yeah.
that is supposed to be circulating that day in a reduce. After 2 weeks another holiday. So if you've decided that the government is giving Muslims holiday, let all Muslims get their holiday and let them celebrate the way they want. Let Christians, but usikuwa unasema generally it's a public holiday for everybody.
So what I'm trying to the point is, because it's a holiday on Monday, they've inflicted the holiday on everybody. Whether you're a Christian,
Yes,
whether you're a Buddhist,
yeah,
no going to work.
Yeah, no
which
going
is
to
literally
work.
none of your business
exactly.
as a non-Muslim. Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Which is
Yeah.
exactly. So unaona ukifungua biz kama mimi ni Mchristian, si ndio? I have a shop in Tao. Tuseme I always sell wigs, si ndio? In Tao watu tembea. Every day siku za job
Na
Monday
kuna-
to Friday
na ikosi
hivi.
watu,
Sasa
yeah.
utapata kuuza ni mingi.
Easy.
Cash flow ni mingi. Kama ni magari zinapandwa, magari
Exactly.
zimejaa.
Magari
Unaelewa?
zitakuwa affected.
Zinakuwa affected. Kila msee sasa au magari unagani si wanalipa taxes.
Exactly.
So hiyo day
Yeah.
hawezi lipa. So it goes and affect the economy.
True.
So this
Yeah.
this is why we're saying the holidays zina affect. The more we reduce the holiday, the more we get our economy stable. And it's not even about Christians, Muslim. Hizi holidays kama sijui kupanda mti, sijui kufanya nini. Let's cut off this nonsense holidays.
Exactly.
And if it is a must, you have to give the Muslims holiday. Hata wakwe na holiday yao peke. Don't come and tell people, oh, it's a public holiday. Wenye wanajibamba peke kwa hii holidays ni wenye wanafanyia gava.
True.
Because their salary is
true.
gonna come.
Exactly.
But imagine
Every
watu wa
month.
biashara.
Okay, that's a fact. Though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Watu wa biashara wote, people are going to be affected. Hata tu hapa Ronga Sundays. Hata tembea tu. Maduka zikifungwa, watu watokangi hata nje.
Sure.
So unapata mse atakwambia, leo biashara imekuwa mbaya because ni Sunday wanajuanga Sunday, lakini ikipita Monday biashara iko
busy.
sawa. Unaelewa? So I feel like the holidays actually really affect the economy.
They do.
And it also even affects people's businesses personally.
They
So
do.
that's I think the point as to why we're actually declining these unnecessary holidays by the government. Yeah.
Because I feel like if you're not a Muslim, you should still be going to work.
Yeah.
Or still running your own businesses.
Exactly.
But now, as she said also, if you're working for the government people, it's good for you because you're going to get your salary. But now now the ones who own their businesses
Exactly.
and run their own thing is gonna
especially watu wa matatu because
Yes, yes.
fikiria watu wa matatu by
Yes,
the way
for
you know,
sure.
huyu mtu amezoea kuchukua mbao juu ya kupandisha mtu gari
Yeah.
you know like collect mbao kupandisha watu watano gari each gari
Right.
sasa hiyo hakuna watu
Motorbike people.
utaenda kufanya
Exactly.
alafu upate
Watu
mtu
wa
anaiba
police.
usiku utamlaumu
Yeah.
are you gonna blame this person for actually trying to snatch someone's phone to
Right.
you know like because you are affecting literally so many people's lives
na hata ukiangalia even people in the government, si ndio? Tuseme government offices hazifanyi.
Yeah.
Sasa tuseme huduma center haitafanyi hiyo siku, si ndio? Huduma
Right.
center generates
Oh my
money for the
gosh.
government.
So
So hiyo
true.
siku hiyo pesa yote imeenda hivyo.
Literally.
Alafu after a few days utasikia we are increasing our taxes.
Or
And
maybe
it-
you needed a document that
Exactly.
Monday, like so it was
It's
an
not
emergency.
working.
Exactly.
Na unajua unaenda
Now.
kulipa pesa. Sasa
Yeah.
hiyo tao yako ya hiyo siku imeenda hivyo.
Yeah.
Gava ijatengeneza do. After a few weeks or another holiday.
Exactly.
So I feel like it
Utapata-
actually affects
yeah.
it actually affects
utapata kuna mtu alikuwa pick documents Monday sasa
Yeah.
ndio ameannouncewa ni public holiday now you have to maybe it's a job application
Yes, or you're traveling
you know,
that
or
day.
maybe you're traveling you know it's
affects
super
a lot of
crazy
things, yeah.
it needs to be actually deducted but as we get to move on to another
But again, you
conversation
guys understand how the government relates with anything to do with religion.
Yeah.
You know, when you actually understand how religion
I
is a
do get it.
distraction, then you get how this is a whole distraction.
It's a big distraction.
Literally, because all these holidays are distractions for. If you're a Christian and you feel like celebrating Christmas Day, celebrate. Mi kama
Yeah.
sitaki
I
kucelebrate,
don't.
acha nikae, acha
Exactly.
mimi niendelee na biashara. Lakini sie tunaniambia, wewe uendi kazi leo. Mbona nisiende kazi? Na unajua kazi yangu itakuwa affected because clients hawatakuwa.
Pesa yangu.
So unaelewa, just
Tembea
everybody
pesa.
let everybody
unless
do
you
their
could
own
compensate
thing.
people's money then that makes sense like you're gonna give you know out of the government we're removing you know companies tapata hii amount to compensate for that day you're not gonna do so you know street vendors and all that
And then their money
Yeah.
is flowing
yep
every day.
crazy but as we speak about still the government and of course how effective it is in our country we have Raila on this other side and then we have this guy whose name actually is a chief of defense forces Charles Kahini if I'm pronouncing Kariri yeah and he has come forth to speak about consequences of people who are actually participating in or pushing the propaganda of Ruto must go. On this other end we have Raila who I think this week spoke about actually him denying shaking hands, you know, we call it shaking hands, nusu mkate. And this is after we saw I think a certain video of him saying mnasema Ruto must go aende wapi.
Yeah, I saw that video.
I saw that video personally. I'm trying to find it, but I can't. When you guys actually shook hands with Ruto, you asked us, you Raila, why Ruto must go? Why? And this is why Peter Salase was beaten. Actually,
Yeah,
this is why we can
yeah.
see all this now first with use of you know tribalism from Luyas and Luos, saying Masai is fueling the fights and all that is crazy. So I want to start with, of course, the Chief of Defense Forces. See the bullshit he's saying.
By the way, the military, one of the core values is that we are apolitical. We don't support any political side. We defend the constitution.
Already you are actually supporting a side. The fact you come in, you are standing with the president. It shows where you stand. That is you supporting a certain political side. You know, if you could say like, yo, the economy is, if you're talking about in behalf of Kenyans, you know, what you think we should do about the economy, because that's the big major effect, then you could be making sense. But let's listen to more bullshit.
The government of the day, duly elected by the people. So wakati watu wanaamua kwamba tumechoka na hii serikali na mlichagua wenyewe,
We never picked.
alafu unasema must go, must go. That must go must be done according to the constitution. Si ni kweli? Yeah, so that's why people question kwa nini military inakuwa deployed. We have a responsibility. We took an oath to defend the constitution, to defend the republic, and that's why it is necessary that the security institution
You know, a liar by just the way they talk.
are professional.
Yeah, I can tell a liar by the way they talk. Personally, I think I've become so good at reading literally even faces. I think because of reading they understand the human psychology. Just
body language.
Yeah, the body language. Like, why straightforward if you really mean what you're saying?
Of
But
course.
why you know, like straightforward if you mean, if
Just
you're
question
confident with
yourself
your
and
words,
stuff.
and if you really took an oath, what oath?
Yeah.
Bribe oath. that's the bribe. That's the
They really
attitude.
do this thing and oh my gosh.
No.
They take oaths. It's crazy.
And they
People-
speak lies after
it's
that.
the
even,
bribe-
even the
bribe
police,
oath.
they take oaths.
Bribe oath. Bribe oath.
You know, it's a lie because
It's
it's
just
talking
a joke.
about the constitution, right? I've
Exactly.
heard him saying
Defend
we go to
him.
defend the constitution. So if you defend the constitution, you defend it in the constitution, in the right way.
By the
Like for
people.
example, anasema,
By the
that's why
people.
we deployed police in the streets, right? You deploy to protect the constitution. Within the constitutional right, not to shoot people, because the constitution that you're defending, which says a police officer is not supposed to use live bullets
On
all this,
protesters.
yeah. So why are people dead? If you are defending the same constitution that you are actually manipulating,
Exactly.
the same constitution that you change overnight, which constitution is that?
Freedom of
Richard
speech.
Aya talk about freedom of speech, right? He says talking about Ruto. The constitution says we have this freedom of speech. Ama mlichange overnight in Yatujui. And what is freedom of speech? I have the right to be heard, my
Yeah,
opinion to be
I
heard.
can
So
talk
whether you
about
like it
anything.
or not, that's your problem. That's the constitution. So you coming here to tell me within the constitution, Ruto must go, me saying Ruto must go, is within the constitution because that's my opinion.
Period.
And it is my right to actually say
for
it.
sure.
But if you come and tell me that you have to do it in the right way in demonstration, which is allowed by the constitution, the right nude is putting placards,
Yep.
and the right is pushing my social media and saying it in the right way. And I feel like that is what people have been doing. Nobody has gone outside the constitution.
Nobody.
And the ones that have gone even outside the constitution, walishikwa and it was justified. You remember when you walitengeneza constitution imekataa uwezi weka mtu kwa sanduku. Unajua?
Yeah.
But mtu kusema sipendi Ruto kwa social media,
Yeah, it's
ama
bad.
mtu kwenda kumanipulate twendeni nje, how is that not within the constitution? So this guy, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. That's why his body language anaangalia chini. Ndio mtu wa media simulize swali yenye hawezi jua kujibu.
Exactly.
That's it, because when he talks like that, I have questions like, which constitutions are you saying? The same constitution says this and this. That's why he can't even look at the camera real well.
Exactly.
Confused person. Confused whatever.
Yeah, very confused.
It's funny how we talk about freedom of speech, which don't have it. Since actually this governance started, and Azir said something today or whatever she posted that day in regards to how she loves Bastangangar's the way he can talk freely, because that's
Azir.
yeah.
Okay.
She was just reacting to Bastangangar in regards also
I've
to
seen the video, but I've not heard
yeah,
it.
in regards to the government
Okay.
and stuff. And it's amazing because that's true freedom, when you can talk about anything freely, because there's nothing else you can do but talk about it. That's how people relieve their grievances. And also I mentioned the fact that Museveni said, yeah, there's freedom of speech, but there's no freedom after
After
that
speech.
speech. In his country, it's a fact. Also in Kenya, there's no freedom after a speech. You have to also be really careful nowadays of how you're saying things, because anybody can be watching you. It's so funny. And all these people coming in defending the president, basically they're just fronts.
Sure.
They're in it together.
Sure.
And that's why you see a lot of reshuffling, because it's like when you just sneeze something that like a not correct sniff that is not in accordance to the president, he cuts you off. If you don't jump and say, okay, how high, he's gonna cut you off. And we see a lot of reshuffle. It's crazy. I've never seen that before. It's so crazy. It's annoying. And I know it's a preparation for his governance, or basically the coming election in 2027, because they're trying to put the most faithful, the most loyal people around him, regardless. Because he knows what's coming.
He's not
He
gonna
literally knows
Atatomboa,
what's
Autoboy,
coming.
Autoboy.
So the fact that they're saying he must go is because people are able to say it. They should say it. It's their right to basically talk about anything that is not correct or going in accordance with the fake system. They have to talk about it.
Exactly.
Right. And the fact that we're in a generation right now, or in the African nation where you can't say anything, you have to be careful about it because of the politicians, for their own selfish
Benefits.
interest. Yeah, it's sad because we see literally you're not there for your own interest.
With the majority, you
We
have to
see-
understand that.
Yeah,
And
ODM and
man,
UDM or
I can't
the
wait
other.
for these people to be
Yeah.
into the reality. We are the majority.
It's
There's no
so
way you can't keep
true.
on killing everyone. Like how many? You have to bomb us then, all of us.
It's so
For us to
true.
do, if you wanna silence all of us, because you're gonna kill me today. After there's someone else who's gonna rise like me, talking the same message
it's a
as
fact
me. Like
also.
you won't silence everyone.
It's a fact
And
also that
people
Raila
are
right
gonna
now.
get tired.
like the fact that he means whatever he said, it means there's a way they've carried us in their mindset.
Yeah.
But not this generation. There's a way he will come out like that back in the years, and our parents will just be like, yeah, it's true, he's not in the government. They will agree with him. But now, what do you mean he came to you? It means you're one.
Yep.
Whether you can go into him or he came to you, you're still going with the government.
You
so
took an oath
yeah,
of actually protecting Ruto, not the constitution.
Of course.
So please talk about that.
Just to add on what Iwaton is saying, I feel now these people in power, they rule us like the colonialists.
Of course.
Like they've taken every part of the system of ruling. Because tell me that is not instilling fear.
That is
Tell me that is and how did people rule back then? They instill fear in you with guns because
Yes.
they know you don't have, and they
Violence.
violence. Oh, they warn you. That's a threat. Telling people, oh, it's a nice threat. Unajua ule mse ukuthreaten akicheka.
Yeah,
Eti,
smile at
unajua
you,
cheka
or
tu
giving you
lakini
coffee or a piece of cake.
kunywa tu hii kahawa lakini najua
Literally.
iko na sumu.
Yeah.
I know.
Unajua
That's it. Sure.
ndio aona nakwambia cheki sema tu Ruto must go within the constitution. So what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Yeah.
If I say you're trying to tell those people who are saying Ruto must go, which is everybody in Kenya ako kwa shida. So if that is not instilling fear in people, which you've actually mastered, and the problem is people are fearless. That is what
The fear is
people
gone.
exactly.
They're
The
just
fear is
tired.
gone,
People are just
and
tired.
people are just like telling you in your face, this is not what is happening.
Not the right
so
time.
so I feel like tunaruliwa bado tunawasumu. Hao wase wameenda wakachukua tabia zao zote wakaleta ndio watu rule nayo.
But
And
it's
it is
the
sad
system.
because it is the same system,
The
exactly.
system, honestly.
Same system of rule, same language. That's why unapata our president hapa hivi atafanya hii, a president
Yeah.
in Zimbabwe will do the same, a president in
Uh-huh.
same behavior, even the same words sometimes.
Yeah.
Even the same words like literally uko like kwani waliongea na nani
They
jana?
just school of
Hawajaongea this
politicians.
exactly school of politicians. They
There
talk the
is.
same thing. Super crazy. So if this is not instilling fear, you can instill fear, but till when? When the fear is
Till
gone,
when?
you
Question.
can never.
Ever.
You can never. Hata ulete bunduki. People will tell you we have guns too.
I know.
People will come with everything they have.
And-
So bring all the policemen you have and let us know if they actually will overpower 40 million Kenyans.
And that's it. You see how many bullets do you have? Do you have 40 million bullets?
Exactly.
Let's talk about
let's
that.
talk about because you won't kill everybody. You might
Exactly.
kill 2 million.
And you won't be ready to
Yeah.
gather 40 million bullets.
Exactly.
Come on.
With what money?
people are just tired.
You know, so let's listen to Raila here.
Sema tumeingia kwa Ruto. Ndio serikali Ruto ndio imekuja kwetu.
The same thing.
Kama walikuwa na shida hii ilikuwa teketea, wakasema ati Ruto must go. Finance bill must go. Ruto akasema finance bill siweki sahihi, nimerudishia bunge.
Actually, it's still there.
Akasema nimevunja serikali. Sasa kitu gani? Sasa tunataka kuunda serikali mpya. Akatuuliza sisi tumepatia yeye wataalamu ambao wanaweza kusaidia. Tukasema chukua hao wataalamu. Sio kuwapatia yeye. Tumewazima, sio?
This guy is old, bro.
I was even saying in the morning the same thing.
This
Umsa
guy
haizi
is old.
kupumua.
Like he's literally struggling to see. Even
Haizi
talk.
kuongea. Like how is this still relevant?
I wonder.
Because it's Raila Odinga.
Tujaingia huko. Raila jaingia huko. Mimi si waziri katika serikali ya Ruto. Tujasema
Unataka kuwa waziri nini? Anataka kuwa sema Kenya unataka Raila. Ambia tu Ruto unataka kukua wanaitwa aje ile Kenya alikuanga bado
Prime Minister.
ile illegal seat prime
Prime
minister
Minister.
which was super illegal too. So
I didn't understand the position of that.
alikuwa nafiksiwa tu pale
So what is
popote.
that?
Ndio
What did
wajaluo wache
he- what did he
kupigana.
used to do?
See, yeye ndio after the
Kibaki,
president.
during Kibaki's
Yeah.
time, he was the prime minister.
And right now
That was because of the 2007 election.
elections. And
Yeah.
right now
To
we
calm
have
people down.
Yes.
Wow.
ndio watu waone mtu wetu ako pale.
because
Unajua
the
sasa
Luos went
tutulie.
nuts and the Kikuyus were going nuts.
Yeah.
So it's the handshake. We're working together, you know.
Aenda danganye wazazi wetu wako 80.
I know.
Na mimi nashangaa bado ni watu gani bado wanaenda kwa hizi vitu za Raila.
Those ones at the background.
Man,
crazy.
wanda bado anasema like let me tell you Raila hata hizi breathe. Umse ni mzee. Like what the hell is he still doing in power? Like literally 50 years of age. in the like 50 years relevance in politics, what the hell is he still doing? Like, I mean, unajua sana nafikiria hata asubuhi. Maybe ni jina najaribu kuweka, but thinking about it, this guy is not even about the money, Joby, because they have the money.
It's about the control. Yeah, the control of the people.
It's power.
Control of the people's
Exactly.
mindset. Because he can.
Exactly.
He has been doing
amazing.
it. He still has it. And that's why I feel like actually all this movement of to the AUC for him to become a chairperson, that was just a propaganda, you know, and the removal of also all these things that have been, the impeachment, whatever, everything that has been going on is very well planned. It's very well planned because especially after the demonstrations last year, the impeachment happened this year. Ilikuwa hii mwaka ama? Ndio, impeachment ilikuwa hii mwaka ama? No, October.
Last year.
Ilikuwa October.
Impeachment,
Yeah, Gachagua. I remember it was in October, right? That was after the demonstration. Why is this happening? That happened, people were distracted, you know, because it was as that was happening, we had Adani taking over our airport, but we have some people still, you know, watching what is happening. After that, we see the AUC chair, that is Raila Odinga. People are excited, you know, Raila is going to the at least atakuwa nasumbuana na Wakenya. Immediately, we have a new deputy president, we have new oppositions forming.
So fast.
You know, like everything is happening super quick. Now he has lost the seat, which was very intentional,
Of course.
to distract Kenya. Now he's back because he still has that massive influence. So they want him to still be here. Like, bro, you have control of Kenya's mentality.
You can be shocked regarding he was supposed to serve for 2 years.
Yeah.
And they're just pretending all this is propaganda for him to have now to be the opposition leader.
Yeah.
This
These people know. These people know how politics run. The school of politics, they're taught. And this
Very
is
well
how
paid,
they do.
taught,
Paid.
yeah.
And this is how they do. Hey, wewe tusifunakufo miaka ria, wewe tukosane miaka mbili. Tukosane 1 year alafu turudiane tudanganye mafala. PR tu. Alafu watu wanaingia because Kenyans are gullible.
Their bodies. Because Senator Onyanka was into a video talking about the fact that at the time when Kenyans were super excited about Makaude, right? Super excited, yeah, he's standing for us. They're like, what if there was a seat at that time and we gave it to him? That's what he said. And he said it's a game of politics. That's what he said.
Yeah.
It's a game of politics. What if the Gen Z at that time, those that said, okay, we're going to give you a seat. Who is your leader? We saved Makaude. Look at that right now.
It is
honestly.
It's super crazy. But as we literally come to the end of today's conversation on our last talk of the day, I want us to talk about, of course, that is Irish Kamuge. Not really much to touch on it. I think you guys have already spoken about it. Me too, I talked about it, Jana. But it's just where we've seen this actually being a norm. I mean, this is not the first case actually. I was saying that this is not the first case of this lady. So people should not. We should stop acting like we're shocked.
This one lady?
Yeah, this is not the first time.
Yeah.
We've seen other agencies, you know, other people, not just from TikTok, Instagram, other platforms, where they tell you CG. And then I was just asking, how dumb are these people, especially the women? Because personally, I know, as a woman, if you want to go to these outside countries, you're not supposed to pay a penny.
Of course.
Only the men. The men are supposed to pay. That is one thing I've seen. Because personally, yeah, I've gone to an office with my cousin, a male cousin, and then we went there. We were given the details to Kambua. Before you sign here, read everything correct, and we read everything correctly. Mimi samai nikasema mimi I can't. Mimi I'm gonna look for another job. I don't wanna go. My cousin was so determined. So akaambiwa tafuta 100k. So looking at my cousin's position, like unaenda a job ndo uende uinje, alafu naomba utafute 100k so utafute. Exactly. That's the same thing I was saying even with people with these people's money. Because if you listen to the story, is they've been scammed 100,000, 300,000, 200,000 to the person to 400,000. That is $500,000. You can start a business if you can collect that money within a month's money. Because also this agency, they pour pressure on you. They tell you these jobs not just maisha. Interest. They know how to gaslight. Like, hey, the opportunity is gonna go. It's only a few people remaining. So you're being pressured to look for this amount of money. What are you doing? Are you being makanga ama nini? And if you can do these jobs here, so you continue doing it, but see you keep on generating this money if you can raise it that quick. Like critical thinking. You know, exactly. Because
Despeраcy also.
Desperacy. I understand the desperation, but madam. Like,
Desperation will make somebody take advantage of you. That's just it. That's because scammers take advantage of your desperation. Ask anybody who has been scammed.
That's true.
Walikuwa desperate.
Yeah.
Might not even be this.
That's
Might hata wa simu tu. Alikuwa unataka simu sana. Wewe akachukua hiyo 5,000 yako na akaenda. Aliona unataka siji nini. Akaona hata venye uko tu desperate tunaomba hiyo kazi. Hivyo. Me have been scammed at work. I've explained that before. And I was scammed mimi personally I don't have a job. Niliskamiwa uniform. I couldn't even think. I just thought later lakini mbona sasa ukienda job unaambiwa ushone uniform. Si job zinakuanga na uniform tu walishmani. Unajua? But thinking about it I was super desperate for that job and I didn't even think. They told me send money. I was like nasikuwa nayo. Funny thing is giving that. They go look for that money.
You look for it.
Nilitafuta hiyo mlango. Na akaniambia this uniform moja. Sasa tunataka 2 na raba. Na bado nilikuwa nenda kutafuta 1600 na bado nikaenda kuomba kamera. Akaniambia Shwani tumia akili. Akaniambia Shwani tumia akili, job gani unalipa uniform? Umeibiwa. So I'm like I didn't even believe. So you see at that point in your life when you're desperate, they can smell a desperate person by the way you reply the text.
That's true.
By the agency,
you answer.
If you reply something, unaona email yako, ulikuwa unaona desperate who ni client.
Bro,
that's just how it is.
Oh my goodness, but I hope people can stay more woke because people are also hustling. We're in a hustler nation. You know, we're in a hustler nation, but we also have hustlers in the nation. Okay, not just the leader. We have hustlers themselves, the real OGs who have been the street vendors. Nasikia karibisha Nairobi. So welcome to Nairobi.
Come they know, like,
you know, come on, karibisha Nairobi. You will be welcomed to Nairobi if you've never been welcomed. There's always that one person who's gonna get you. You know? I don't know. I've met so many people who say, me, I've never been, me, I was always that person. I've never been scammed. I've never been until it got me. Bravo. Desperation is really, really bad. It's really bad. But we're coming to the
that lady.
It's too much.
Na imagine ametolewa.
Imagine she was so comfortable. Luena can make phone calls.
Ametolewa na 5 million.
Wow. Akona hiyo amecollect hiyo. Come on. Na kunaweza kuhustle half a million.
Just like that though.
Hata si kuhustle akona pesa. Si ameibia watu for years.
Exactly.
She has money.
And she was so comfortable. One was saying in the morning she's gonna come out, or someone also said on that video she shared in the morning. She's gonna come out and there's still other Kenyans who continue going to her. Yeah. After all this.
But we're coming to the end of today's conversation. Thank you so much once again to everyone who's been with us on YouTube, or rather those who shall be catching this on a replay, and also for those who have been listening on the network and on the radio. In case we catch this on a replay, leave your comments there down below regarding our Kenyan economy, our government, the holidays, and everything we've discussed right here today. We do this every Monday and Friday, arts, entertainment, and culture. Being the captain of the day. See you guys tonight on the Africa Today Show.
Much love, guys. Monday, don't drink and drive. Stay safe and enjoy your weekend.
I'm sending you so much love and light this beautiful Friday. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful one. Rest. Remember, you are the change that you see in the world. You born
like a bad man. Kali is a bad girl. Like a bad man.